shouldn't be able to hear ice cream. Oh, that's not right. Oh. 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 Now is for the lecture part. We're going to talk about money. Going to talk about costs here. And you'll notice that we've got our new refrigerator in. It's a little bit smaller. The big old refrigerator that we had, the water fridge, we got it about 20 years ago for probably around $1,200 from Sears. And I made up the cost. I told my mother that if she would get a new fancy refrigerator with an ice machine in it and a little doorway gadget for getting water in the door, that I would make up the difference. So $500 later, and I had to remove a shelf here so the big refrigerator could go in. And it was nice. It lasted us for 20 years. It should have lasted us for 40 years. I thought that's what happened when you buy an appliance. It's supposed to last a lifetime, but they don't. They break down. And this one broke down, and it didn't have to break down. It killed itself. It committed suicide. It essentially drowned. It committed water suicide. And so let's say that we paid $1,200 for it. I'll round it off to $1,000. About every 3 years, we would pay something like $400 for a warranty. And so over 20 years, you wind up paying roughly $2,600 in warranty fees. And the ice machine on the old refrigerator never worked. Well, it worked, but it would break down like every 6 months. So we'd have to have the ice repairman to come in and fix it. That's part of the warranties that we paid for. And also, the water gadget in the front door was always fouling up somehow. There'd be a leak, or it would rust the front of the door out. You can see where, well, you can't see this one here, but on the old refrigerator, it was rusted out on the front of the door where water spilled. And it spilled on the inside of the refrigerator, and it spilled on the back end of the refrigerator where it was connected by those little tubes. And sometimes those little tubes get clogged up. One of them, from installation, somehow they misinstalled it, and it wound up with a rusty nail in it. So when it finally backed up and the water ran out onto the floor, we have a linoleum floor here in the kitchen. Over 10 years ago, my mother walked into the kitchen. She was in her late 70s then. She stepped on water. Her feet went out from under her. She lands on her back. She winds up in the hospital because she cuts one of her feet while she's going down, and she got an infection, which they had to treat with antibiotics, you know. So anyway, it was just it was just a refrigerator from hell. And but it was her refrigerator and she loved it, so we kept it because, you know, it's fancy-smancy, and it made ice for us, and we had the little water thing in the front door. Okay. The water eventually rotted out the lining on the inside of the refrigerator. So the repairman said he could fix it, maybe, but it would be in our best interest if we went and bought a new refrigerator. So if we had to get a new refrigerator, it would cost us around $1,500, and then tax on top of that, so I'll say $1,600, and then to have it installed for maybe another $100, so that's $1,700 for a new refrigerator that would do the same thing, when our old refrigerator should have lasted us for, you know, like I said, 40 years. Anyhow, I wasn't willing to do that. I've inherited the house, so I can stick my own refrigerator in. Water will never touch this refrigerator. I'll make my own ice. It can't be tough. I paid $615 for this new refrigerator. It has a freezer on top. It has a regular refrigerator on bottom. It's a little bit smaller. I think it's 18 cubic feet as opposed to 22 cubic feet. But, you know, there's just a few of us here. We don't have that. We don't need as a big refrigerator as we used to have. I'm not going to pay a warranty on this thing. I forgot to tell you what the $615 included. I could have had it for $515, but I wanted to have glass shelves instead of wire shelves. Wire shelves will do the same thing, but they'll rust over a few years, even through the rubber. I don't want that. So I got glass shelves. So that bumped it up to $615. That includes tax, and that includes the delivery fee. And okay, now I'm going to talk about the old refrigerator, the new refrigerator. If I bought a new fancy water refrigerator, I would pay $1,500, and then I'd spend 20 years on warranties to keep it working. So that would be like, over a period of 20 years, $2,600 extra. So I'd wind up paying $4,200 for a refrigerator. I'm paying once for this thing. If this thing ever breaks down, I'm going to kick it to the curb and just buy a new one. By buying this, I've saved $3,685. And if you wind up paying $4,200 for a water fridge, you have to earn $4,500 to buy anything that costs $4,200. So anyway, these are just thoughts to think about. You've heard of death by 1,000 cuts. Well, in the financial world, you can drown or you can sink from 1,000 leaks. This is just one financial leak, you know, to plug up. I'm not saying don't buy a water fridge. I'm just saying this is an option. Okay? And options are good. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye.